So, have you ever delved into the dark world of Lovecraft's stories?
Oh, yeah.
I just revisited Herbert West, Reanimator, and it's even more gripping than I remembered.
Right. That story is wild. What struck you the most this time around?
Well, it's the obsession, you know? West's unyielding quest to conquer death and the lengths he's willing to go. It's like a mad scientist trope, but taken to the extreme.
Absolutely. But don't you think his methods were, a bit unethical?
Oh, totally unethical.
Yeah.
Grave robbing, experimenting on human corpses. It's macabre. But that's what makes the story so compelling. It pushes the boundaries of moral science.
I see what you mean. It's like, where do we draw the line between scientific advancement and playing God?
Exactly. And the narrator is just as fascinating. He's complicit, yet he seems to grapple with their actions more than West does.
Right.
It's like he's the conscience that West lacks.
But why do you think the narrator sticks around despite his reservations?
That's a good question. Maybe it's a mix of morbid curiosity and a sense of loyalty, or perhaps he's drawn to the potential breakthrough despite the horrors.
Yeah, but the consequences are dire. Every experiment seems to end worse than the last.
True, and that's the horror of it.
Exactly.
The reanimated beings are grotesque echoes of their former selves, highlighting the unnaturalness of defying death.
It's like Lovecraft is warning us about the dangers of overreaching ambition.
Precisely. And the settings add to the eerie atmosphere, the deserted farmhouse, the hidden laboratory. It's classic Gothic horror. You can almost feel the dread creeping in. Oh, definitely.
Right.
Each experiment brings them closer to disaster. And the culmination with the tomb legions, I mean, that's chilling.
The tomb legions. That imagery gave me goosebumps. Can you imagine the silent hordes emerging from the darkness?
It's terrifying. And it serves as a metaphor for the consequences of tampering with the natural order. Everything they've done literally comes back to haunt them.
Do you think West realizes the gravity of his actions by the end?
I don't think so. He's so consumed by his obsession that he becomes blind to the horror he's unleashed. It's the narrator who seems to grasp the full terror of their situation.
It's interesting how Lovecraft uses that dynamic to explore themes of sanity and madness.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the story raises questions about medical ethics that are still relevant today. How far should we go in the name of science?
That's a timeless debate. And the story doesn't give us clear answers, but forces us to confront the discomfort.
Exactly. It's unsettling.
Yeah.
And the lack of closure at the end leaves us pondering the aftermath. What happens next?
Perhaps that's the most haunting part, the unknown consequences.
Indeed. It's like the horror isn't just in what we see, but what we imagine. Lovecraft was a master at that.
You know, some might argue that the story reflects fears of uncontrolled scientific progress during Lovecraft's time.
That's a great point. The early 20th century saw rapid advancements, and there's always a societal fear of the unknown implications.
But do you think those fears are justified? Or are they just, speculative paranoia?
I think a bit of both. It's important to be cautious, but fear shouldn't halt progress.
Right.
West, however, lacks that caution entirely.
True, and that's his downfall. His ambition overrides his humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's the core message. Losing our humanity in the pursuit of knowledge leads to destruction.
It's a powerful takeaway. So, would you recommend this story to others?
Oh, without a doubt.
Haha.
It's a captivating read that not only thrills but also provokes deep thought.
I agree. It's a classic that continues to resonate. Maybe we all have a bit of Herbert West in us, curious yet cautious.
Haha. Let's hope we're more on the cautious side.
Right.
But yes, it's stories like this that remind us of the delicate balance between curiosity and ethics.
Well said. It's been great diving into this with you.
Likewise, always a
Yeah.
pleasure to explore the depths of Lovecraft's universe.
Can't wait for our next discussion. Any ideas?
Maybe something a bit lighter? We'll find something
Please.
intriguing for sure.